Hello, it's the 2nd of September 2014, which means I'm now 14 months on testosterone. And I think the thing that I have to report this month is that the hair, it's always about hair, isn't it? The hair now has started growing in places where I didn't expect they would. So at the back of my arm, I'm really quite hairy there. On my shoulders and the top of my back, I'm getting really hairy. The hair on my toes is really quite long, and my fingers on these bits here is growing. I mean, obviously my belly hair and all that other hair that grew last year is still there, but it's finding new places to develop. I'm also getting lots more spots than, and I didn't get that in the first year. This has started developing this year. Hopefully that will calm down a bit. But what I feel as if I'm really hitting puberty. Before it was sort of, for the first year, there were lots of changes, and I was very happy with them. But I didn't feel like I was in puberty. And the second year seems to have started in the sort of the downsides of puberty. I feel very uneasy and tearful and like I did in my first puberty. That sort of any minute now you're going to erupt. In fact, I'm also finding that I'm incredibly grumpy at work. I don't like myself. And argumentative. I don't seem to be able to let a subject drop like I used to be able to. I seem to feel the need to make my point. And if somebody is not listening to my point, I feel the need to continue to make my point until somebody is listening. And I don't like that, because I'm standing back thinking, this isn't me. I'm not that grumpy, well, I don't want to be, the grumpy, argumentative old sod in the office that people don't like. And I'm really going to have to try and rein in that, teenager side of me, because I don't like that at all. And so that and the spots and the grumpiness, and it's all the emotional angst of puberty that seem to be coming on now. But that presumably will last as quick as the last year, and next year I'll probably feel a lot better. My chest is still getting hairy, which is a good thing. It's sort of developing hairs along the ridge line around my nipples, along my scar line, that is. I was going to do a chest update video, but I think I might do that separately, because this will be really long otherwise. There was one other major thing that's happened this month. I had our very first family get-together. I've got a very small family. Actually, that's not true. I've got a very large family, but only a tiny percentage of them are actually in contact. So I've got a sister that I don't ever speak to, not because we fell out, but because we have nothing in common. Apart from the same parents. I've got a father in Wales somewhere who I haven't seen since I was 19. So the only two people in my family that I actually spend time with, who aren't my children and grandchildren, the ones that I haven't produced, is my mum and my stepfather. And obviously I spoke to those a long time ago, and they've been excellent with my transition. They're getting over it now. My mum quite often gives me male pronouns without thinking. It used to be that she's always tried to do male pronouns, but she there was a moment, a time when she had to think about it, and now I noticed a couple of weeks ago, was in the middle of a joke and referred to me as him in the middle of the joke. So she wasn't thinking about it. She just has assimilated it into her speaking. So there is also her half sister who she didn't know about when she was growing up. So they're not in contact with each other except for the last few years. And I met her for the first time at my granddad's funeral, which is both their father, and that was only the second time that my mum had met her, and that was only 12 years ago. So we haven't had many opportunities to meet up. They now meet up every 6 or 7 months, but I have only seen once at my granddad's funeral, the second time when we laid the stone on the funeral, on the grave, and the third time was their wedding anniversary. So I had the opportunity to meet her again, and all of those other times were pre-transition, so I was really a bit apprehensive. She's 74, her husband is 78, and I really wasn't sure how well she would take to my being male, and obviously I'm really quite male now. So we sent her, an email just to warn. Do you really want to come and meet Will? And she said she would love to, and the evening was so nice. I suppose because she didn't know me very well, she just took me on face value as the man that I presented, and never really thought about, or not obviously thought about, what she was saying in the way of pronouns, like my mum used to do when she first got to know me. It was just, she just sort of naturally treated me as William. And as I say, I think it's probably because I didn't have a relationship with her. And it must be harder if you meet aunts every 2 or 3 months, and they don't really get enough time to get to know you, and then you meet them again a lot of time later. But over 12 years, this was the 4th time. We had a really, really nice evening, and I wasn't grumpy, and I didn't get in an argument, which was a change. I think I'll end it there. I'll do another one update soon about my chest surgery. I'm coming up to 3 months post chest surgery, and I'll do a video then. And until then, see you. Bye.